If you haven't subscribed to this channel, click on the subscribe and the bell icon so you can be informed when the next video is uploaded. This channel is focused on teaching you about raising private money for your real estate investment deals. So here we are. If you're really serious about raising private money in real estate, you need to be doing this. Hi, welcome. My name is Amir Khan. I'm a real estate investor, mentor, and coach based in Dallas, Texas. And in this video, I'm going to talk about if you're really serious about raising private money, this is what you need to be doing. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what are the top things you have to do. A, ensure you've mastered the ability to explain your real estate model. B, based on your funding needs, create a one-page investment summary. C, based on your funding needs, figure out who can be your potential PML, and we're going to create an avatar for that. D, research where your private money lender avatar hangs out. And finally, E, create marketing program that is geared towards the space where your potential private money lender hangs out. So let's start with the first question, which is you need to ensure that you have mastered the ability to explain your real estate model. Now, it sounds obvious. However, if you're not crystal clear about your understanding of your real estate investment model, you will have difficulty explaining this to your potential PML. Well, your potential PML may or may not be sophisticated real estate investors, right? So if you do not show mastery in explaining your model in simple and clear terms, you'll leave your potential PMLs confused. And remember, confused people never make a decision. So how do you ensure you've mastered the understanding of your model? Here are my two suggestions. Number one, can you write your entire real estate investment model in one short paragraph? If not, then that's okay. Go ahead and write it in a long form and then try to simplify it and see whether you can shorten it so that you can say that or read that in about 30 seconds or so. And can you verbally explain your real estate investment model in about 30 seconds or less? Again, if you cannot do that, then use what you've done just a moment ago, which is write down a brief paragraph, use that as a text, and see if you can record yourself on your phone and see if you can say that in about 30 seconds or less. If you haven't done so, grab my free gift for you, Top 5 Places to Raise Private Money. It's my step-by-step instructions for 5 different platforms, including best practices. Find the information about this free PDF in the description below. Next, based on your funding needs, you have to create a one-page investment summary, and I'll tell you why you need one. This one-page investment summary is going to be like a snapshot of your entire investment opportunity on one page. And it is extremely useful, especially if someone asks you to send them some information. Perhaps they don't need a whole bunch of information. They need a snapshot, and that's where this is great. And secondly, if you spend some time creating this one-page investment summary, you actually will not need to do this over and over again. You will have this and you can use this many, many times until either your investment model changes or you have other changes going on with your model. Otherwise, you will be able to use this for a long time. So the question is, what do you put in the one-page investment summary? First, obviously, you need your name. You need a very brief profile about yourself and your company, including any related real estate investment experience. Number 2, you need to describe your real estate investment model. For example, if you do fix and flips. List the amount of funding that you are seeking, specifically minimum funding that you would need. For example, If your average PML funds you about 60,000 and that's what your minimum investment is, then you need to list that. The terms that you offer, for example, 10% annualized return, monthly payments plus lump sum on exit. Number 5, your hold period. What is the average example? Could be an average 6 to 8 months for an average project that you do. Number 6, what security are you offering? Example, first lien possession, mortgage, promissory note, mortgagee, PML listed as a mortgagee on your insurance policy. And finally, your contact information. Actually, there's one more thing that comes after that. That is the next steps. This is going to be the call to actions. In other words, after reading this, if your potential PML is interested in working with you, what do you want them to do? Now, next, let's talk about, based on your funding needs, we're going to figure out who can be your potential private money lender. So here is where we're going to create a avatar. And now that we know our real estate investment model well, we can describe it really well, and we have a one-page investment summary, it is time to figure out who would be our ideal private money lender. So for this, I suggest creating a ideal persona for your PML, and the ideal persona of your PML will be your PML avatar. So let's work backwards from the real estate investment model. So let's assume, as I gave an example before, if you're doing fix and flip project that requires an average of, let's say, $60,000 in private funding, and you're able to pay 10% annualized interest and return the principal upon exit in about 6 to 8 months. So, and you're able to repeat this process by offering an investor's redeployment into the next project and so on. So the question is, who would have 60 grand available cash? Who would understand this type of real estate investment model? And most importantly, risk? And why would they be interested in such an opportunity? Now, since this is not a perfect science, we have to make some assumptions, and that's what I've done over here. Who would have 60 grand cash? Well, $60,000 may not sound like a lot of money, but having it as deployable cash is not very common. So generally, I've found that professionals like physicians, engineers, lawyers, and other high earning professionals may have large amount of cash on hand. So we are now going to create an avatar feature as we go along. So avatar feature number 1 for our potential PML is we're going to choose physicians, and this is an example, you can have your own. Choose physicians who are 50 years plus. And the reason why I'm doing that assumption is younger physicians are probably still paying off their medical school loans. Next, who would understand this type of real estate investment model and risks? This is probably the most important aspect of choosing and creating your avatar. This layer for your avatar will make sure that you have the best possible match for your investment model, right? So in my experience, the best approach is only to work with PMLs who have invested successfully in same or similar kind of projects. So in this case, if you're taking example of fix and flip, you want to work with someone who has done some fix and flip projects in past. So our avatar feature number 2 is someone who has done at least one fix and flip project within a 60 grand range. Next, who would be interested in such an opportunity? Now this has to do with motivation. Why do they want to invest in such an opportunity? If their reason doesn't align with your project, then it will not be a good partnership. For example, if you do find a potential PML who has experience and has invested in fix and flip, but they're only looking for partnership opportunity, which means they're not only looking for 50-50 returns, they also want profit sharing, and they want say in the project, and maybe that's not what you're seeking, and that kind of partnership won't work. So you want to make sure that your avatar feature number three is someone who wants their money working for them passively, earning passively, and they want to be a private money lender. That's what we want. We want passive investors. Let me tell you about my coaching program, Capital Raising Mastery System, that was specially created for intermediate and advanced real estate investors. Program includes advanced strategy systems and tools for raising private money, and full lifetime access to on-demand training, weekly coaching calls, and access to members-only community. Learn how I raised money to build my own $1 million plus portfolio in 2 years, all by raising money from private money lenders. Learn how you can duplicate my success by following my step-by-step training and access to community of my students successfully raising money now. Details about the Capital Raising Mastery System are in the descriptions below. Or you can join my Private Money Raisers Club community. It is ideal for beginners or relatively new real estate investors. It's an affordable way to start learning about raising private money, and currently we are offering a 7-day free trial. Again, the details are in the description below. Next, research where your potential private money lender avatar hangs around. So now that we've narrowed down following, I'm going to go through this again. Number one, we've mastered our ability to describe and explain our real estate investment model, both verbally and in written format. We have fine-tuned and developed a well-crafted one-page investment summary, and we have narrowed down our avatar, and I'm going to read this now. A 50-year-old plus physician who has been a private money lender on some past fix and flip projects, who has 60 grand available to invest, who is interested in a 10% annualized returns, and is willing to commit for 6 to 8 months. So now we have to do is find where our avatar hangs out. This appears to be hard, but if you do some research, you will be successful. So since we know we like to focus on older physician, one space to target is any organization that includes physicians who are interested in investing. If you simply Google the term doctors investing in real estate, you'll come across lots of interesting options. I actually just did this search and I found a doctor-run organization that is not just on Facebook, but they have their own website and they do a whole bunch of other projects. Their Facebook membership alone has over 125,000 doctors, and they only accept physicians in that Facebook community. But here is the interesting thing. On their website, they mentioned that they actually partner with organizations and they accept advertisements. So now if you repeat this process, which means search on Google using a variety of these terms, physician and investment and real estate, and you're looking for at least 3 to 4 other online communities. In addition, let me give you another indirect way where you can find somebody who is close to your avatar, is going to be attending your local RIA, Real Estate Investment Association meetup. Now, this is an indirect way. What that simply means is that while you don't know that the attendees there are going to be physicians or not, you do know that everybody who's there are into real estate, they're into real estate investments, and they're there because they're interested in doing that. So there is a good chance that some of the attendees might be physicians as well. So this is, I would say, an indirect way of approaching this. Next, now we have to create a marketing program geared towards the space where our private money lender avatar hangs out. Now we're going to create a marketing program geared towards the space where our private money lender avatar hangs out. So now that we've discovered at least 3 to 4 online communities where our avatar hangs out, we will create a marketing plan that can effectively connect to our avatar. So let's take the example that I mentioned earlier, doctors investing in real estate. That specific community, like I said, allows you to have partnership in various different ways, right? So now this community allows you to be a sponsor And you can be a sponsor in many different ways. You can either write a blog post for their website. They have a monthly newsletter. You can either advertise in the newsletter, or you can write something about a fix and flip project or your model in their newsletter, or you can even host an event. Let's assume you decide to place ads in their monthly newsletter. So rather than simply promoting your service, you could create an educational workshop or a course that is geared towards your model. And basically what you want to do is promote that through an advertisement in their monthly newsletter. And you could design your workshop or your webinar where you teach. For example, here's an example. Teach them how to successfully invest in 4 to 5 fix and flip projects a year and 3 times their initial investment. Obviously, you have to fine tune the offer, but something like this will get them excited and you do bring value. Now, once you conduct such an educational workshop, you're now an expert in the eyes of the participants. Plus, if you promoted your event correctly, you should have some call to action towards the end, so you can set up a consultation call with them. Plus, you should be gathering their email addresses. Now, if you've done a good job through this entire process with your call to action towards the end of your workshop, you should be able to get several appointments. Now, what you have to do is convert those appointments into private money lenders. There you have it. If you're really serious about raising private money, this is what you need to be doing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon. Every time I upload a video about raising private money, you'll hear about it. I'll see you then.